What's good, Crew Nation? We are back at it again, once again. I know, slap us for being late and everything, but hey, life and such. Triple B's back at it again, doing a two for this time. Of course, Mossman is away because life and shit. K Rob and Mr. Byron Moss back in the house. How you doing, brother man?
Oh, I'm doing good after last week.
Oh, fuck you. So in case you guys don't know, we have officially started our own podcast-based fantasy football league, Brew League Football. First week, I had to draw this jackass, and he beat me. The dude who knows way less about football. See, this is what I don't like about fantasy sports: is the people that win don't know dick about it.
It's not that I don't know Dick. It's just I'm not as knowledgeable about football than you. And to be fair, I didn't draft half bad.
No, you didn't. And to be fair, you're not as knowledgeable about baseball as me. But then again, who the hell is? Shout out to my mother because she
To,
is.
to, to be fair, like when it comes to sports in general, like I can hold my own, but you definitely outdo me. I will not deny that. You definitely outdo me.
I
And
know.
it's it's just yeah, week one we drew each other after our draft. And I won't lie, on the draft I made some questionable choices. But uh my team came through and you got unlucky as
I
hell.
really did. No, for two reasons. Josh Allen, damn it, Josh Allen, the white Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills, not black Josh Allen of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Was it no? I think it was three interceptions or four. He threw three to one guy Monday night against the Jets.
Yep.
Just killed me. And here's what's crazy. N- mm, like 9 points from my quarterback, who's supposedly the second best quarterback in the NFL. I know he was playing against an outstanding defense in the Jets,
Yep.
but damn it, dude. Like,
Yeah,
what are we doing
the
here?
sad thing is you had like 9 on your starter and like 24 on your bench for QB.
Yeah, Justin Herbert had 20 points. Could
To,
have
to be
used him.
to be fair, on the flip side, if I would have used Tua instead of
Oh,
Mahomes,
like, folks, so we're on ESPN.com for our fantasy league, and I have everything pulled up right now. This dude, because he started Patrick Mahomes because of course you're going to start Patrick Mahomes. Even though Detroit is an up and coming defense, you start Patrick Mahomes because he's my
it's
homeboy.
he makes everybody good. I think he had like what? He hit like 11 different people.
Probably, I couldn't tell you how many targets. I don't have the box score pulled up to that game right now. But Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill just a like whoever has Tyreek Hill in our league, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I think Tyreek had like 40, almost 45 points last on week one.
I'm actually gonna take a look to see who does. It is Team Smith in our league.
My
So,
brother-in-law.
oh, that dude, he had 159 points last
Yeah.
week. Jeez. Yeah, because he has Tyreek and he has Jalen Waddle, which is incredibly smart. Tyreek Hill 44 and a half fantasy points.
Yep.
Jeez. And you know what? He should be thankful because he only got 6 points from Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Jeez. Yeah, I got my shit pushed in and looking out here, got 20 points, which he lost
You hold on,
for on
buddy.
Thursday night
You
Vikings.
you cut out.
I cut out. Well, that's a shame. Good. Come cut out on. Oh, you had a 27 point. My who was a sleeper receiver to begin with for the Colts. He had 23 points, which is quite impressive. My next high score off the bench, Miles Sanders had 11 points.
Yeah.
I didn't have it going on this week. I really did.
The Jets really pulled for me. Like that's also a big difference. The Dolphins defense shot the bed hard, and the Jets took off.
Well, Miami does have a lot of talent on defense, but when you play the Chargers, you're bound to get into a shootout. It's just how it goes. But God bless a freaking America. So right now I have 24 points going into this week, and I believe I'm projected to win. I'll take a look at matchups here. Yeah, I was projected to beat you too. We'll see how that goes. Uh,
I have not been a favorite in any matchup so far.
well, it's 2 weeks in. Favored 134 to I believe what does it say 107, and you're facing my buddy Markham. Shout out. He's already got 48 points from
Mm,
Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith. Puts you way behind the eight ball.
I
Yeah,
just need a couple. I just need a couple of people to pop off. If Diggs pops off again, Mahomes
what you
pops
will.
off. I'm pretty good. I'm happy with my tight end, my new pickup tight end.
Who did you
So
get? Oh yeah, Hunter Henry going against the Dolphins for Sunday Night Football. Mahomes is going to have some trouble. Jacksonville is a good football team. Played him in the playoffs last year. Stephon Diggs. It doesn't to me. It does not matter who the Bills play because that dude is just going to get his. But they're playing the Raiders, whose defense is always bad, always
that's
bad. So
that's what
you'll
I
be
sad to think.
fine.
I sad to think about because like the Raiders used to be like a super good defensive team.
It's been a long time. You are how old? What, 33?
Oh shit! Excuse you, sir. I'm only 31. I still have a whole nother 10 days till I'm
It's
32.
been I think you may have had a single digit in your lifespan the last time the Raiders had a legit good defense that people were worried about. So it's been a minute.
Yeah.
That's one of the guarantees in the NFL nowadays. Death taxes and the Raiders can't stop the pass or the run. They get to the quarterback. They're good at that. Bottom line, you beat my ass last week.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it.
I wasn't either. I figured like it was gonna probably come down to maybe 2 points to half a point at most.
You know,
But I was not expecting the 40-point blowout.
I'll tell you what else. I'll tell you what else. What I wasn't expecting last night, despite an amazing day of sports coverage live in Boulder, Colorado for College Game Day coming. That's on right now. You had the Pat McAfee show and the Toxic Table there as well. He had The Rock as a guest yesterday, which is just absolute insanity. And the thing is, The Rock texted Pat, if you have time for me, could I appear on your show? When The Rock asked if you got time for him,
You
are you
better
kidding?
find a spot because it's gonna be good.
No, here's the thing. Pat looked dead at him. He goes, dude, you're the most famous human on the planet. Everybody's got time for you. And
Yep.
you know who else had time for him last night? WWE, who just happened to be in
Ooh.
Denver, an hour away from Boulder last night. The show opens up with, and this is one of those kismet moments where all the stars fall in place. Pat shows up to open the show, big reaction for him, and then he gets cut off by Austin Theory. And then he says, "This is my show." And Pat says, "No, this is the people's show." And do you know what that means? By the way, you could tell Pat was high. You could tell. Them laws in Colorado are a whole lot lenient. And then all of a sudden you hear if you smell, and every woman in the crowd and probably some dudes got pregnant. I mean, listen, we've seen the man
We've seen the pop.
that felt it. That when he used to say there's goosebumps running through on your with goosebumps on your arms and electricity running through your body, that is no bullshit.
I just got shivers thinking about it.
Ah, I know. I have that
God,
DVD. I have that show on DVD, by the way.
God, like when it's like there's a few things out there. Like when you hear it, like you just get shivers. Like when you hear the Undertaker's gong go off, when you hear
Mm-hmm.
the glass smash, when you hear if you smell, like it's just like the arena turns into a whole nother beast.
That's the one that we didn't get to experience was being live for Stone Cold. But we were live for Taker, we were live for The Rock, and geez, yeah, it does something to you. So he comes out. They have about a 12-minute segment. It is on YouTube on WWE's channel, of course, heavily censored as much as it was. So Rock being Rock, so he basically can do what he wants. He had one half of the arena chant "You are" and the other half chant "an asshole," which is not a new thing. He did that to Vince the night of the first draft in 2002 because they were in Penn State on their campus, and their chant is "We are Penn State." Instead, he did "You are an asshole," and it wasn't censored then because not PG, but it was comical. Michelle and I are watching it, and you can't hear anything because they have to keep censoring and bleeping out the crowd. Like, who does this? So I found a non edited feed of it, and it was beautiful. So he did that chant with one side of the crowd doing the "you are," then he did it again with the other side saying "you are." So like this dude was basically being called an asshole for like 5 straight minutes, and then
You know.
he hit the people's elbow. Pat hit the people's elbow wearing the same shit he was wearing when he did his show earlier, jeans and a black tank top, because that's what he does his show in every day. Imagine making 8 figure having an 8 figure salary now, and the only thing you get to wear to work every day is a wife beater.
I mean, if
That's
I
a
could wear,
beautiful
if
life.
I could just wear shirts like this and not have to dress up or anything like that, God, you know how comfy that is.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Uh
Just give me my nice comfy stretch pants and a t-shirt. I'm happy.
I mean, dude,
I'm comfy.
I'm recording in basketball shorts and a daddy
Same.
daughter t-shirt right now.
Uh, I'm,
I
I'm
just didn't
recording
want to
into.
put on
No, I
clothes.
get you. Like I said, I'm recording in basketball shorts and my Slytherin shirt.
What a bastard.
Hey,
So
Slytherin pride.
that's what was going on last night. Like everything was happening just yesterday. It was from the start yesterday with First Take being on campus in Boulder with with Coach Prime and um and Stephen A. Smith and Unc Shay Sharp. Just clowning and showing out and showing nothing but love in that beautiful campus. And Colorado was the talk of the college football world, and they ain't been the talk of the college football world in damn near 30 years.
It's
It's a
it's Dion. Like
Thank you.
Dion Sanders is turning the college football world on their head.
And he's
He's
not
like
doing anything other than being himself, and some people can't handle that.
the thing is though he's not being apologetic about anything. He's pretty
No.
much, he's like again it's Deion Sanders. He's got so much star power. What's the NCAA gonna do to him?
And the thing is, he hasn't done anything illegal by any means, because that's not how he rolls. Dion is
No.
extremely ethical in all of his movements, and he's nothing but professional, courteous, respectful. But when another coach puts his name out, has Dion's name come out of their mouth, and your program, like, this is where I got a problem. Now, I don't have a problem with. By the way, you're not hiding. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, my daughter's just trying to slide in on the camera here. Say hi, baby girl. Say yes. We're doing a show. What's up, baby?
It's just that there's actually some people that actually paint Claudine Wolf.
Oh, well, that's fine, Michelle. Remember,
And
we are what we're
I
also.
actually went back one day.
She went. Ladies and gentlemen, my daughter is now, her new obsession is Monster High, and now she wants to be half human, half wolf. All right,
But
What I'm hearing is
with
we
the
need to
ears.
get for Christmas wolf ears.
No, because Christmas. She's already got her Halloween costume already, courtesy of her mother. It is a neon cheetah print outfit. I'm getting the shoes.
yes, yes, they have to be. Yes, Dad, they have to be rainbow and cheetah printed both together.
Oh, is
And,
that right? Is that what
and
we're
yes,
doing?
okay. They have to go with the costume. The boots have to fit with the costume,
All
and
right.
they have to be the same color too.
Thank you. All right. Well, say hi to everybody.
Hi.
All right. That's what we got going on here right now. So on
so
an
so
aside, because anything
so
happens is whenever we're live.
yeah. So what I'm hearing is Deion Sanders is the Michael Jordan of college coaches.
In terms of culture, and in terms of changing culture and the vibes and the energy, Mike didn't have that. That was more of an Allen
No,
Iverson
no,
thing. But
no. But
Dion,
what I'm saying is like another coach put uh Sanders, him, and his team in their mouth. So Sanders took it personally.
oh, he absolutely did. Jay Norvell's the head coach of the Colorado State Rams, who I'd like to preface has only, let's see, they have had one, two, three, four, five. They are currently in the middle of a 5 year streak of losing seasons with no more than 4 wins. I do give a bit of a concession to the COVID year. I think they were just 1-3, but still, they have not won 10. They've only won 10 games 3 times in the last 23 years. But anyway, now they're historically they're a solid program, but they don't have a leg to stand on as of late. And you're out here making little comments to try to to rile up things for this rivalry game, and Dion ain't just anybody. Coach Prime ain't just anybody. So he told his players. Coach Norvell made a comment that was very unnecessary. Girl, you were showing out today. Made a very unnecessary comment because Dion always wears shades and hats.
Daddy,
Yes, young lady.
and also with the cladding wolf.
Mm-hmm.
I also actually want the cladding nails too.
All right. Well, you'll have to write that down. All right. Hey, can we go? Can we finish up what we're doing?
Yeah.
Thank you. Your cameo brought to you by Michelle Adelaide Roberts of House Roberts. So Dion wears it. So Dion wears. He does what he does. He doesn't bother anybody. He is not out here talking down anybody else. And that goes back to when he was a player. He said, "I'll talk myself up, but I'm never going to talk down another man." So why do you, and here to me, here's what bothers me and most people the most. He said, I was raised when you address adults that you take your hat and glasses off. So you're basically saying that this man, in your estimation, wasn't raised right. So his mother raised him wrong. That's
Uh-oh.
basically what you're saying without saying it directly. So you disrespected indirectly this man's mother, let alone him.
You just pretty much said open season on your team. You pretty much just like
Now,
gave. I'm sorry. We said something like that. You're giving Dion and his permission to tell his team go run the score up as high as you can.
oh, pretty
Go
much.
embarrass these people. Make them never want to step foot on the gridiron again.
This came from, I believe, Desmond Howard, who's one of the he's on the panel for College Game Day, former Heisman winner, Super Bowl MVP. He said he was working out at a gym in Boulder, and he basically said that the whole vibe is that the theme this week is fuck around and find out. Well, f around and find out, which is funny because that is what it says on the security that follows Dion around at games. It
I'm
says F
calling it.
around and find out.
I'm calling it right now. Expect a 50-point blowout at least.
It's oof, dude. Because you don't say these things, and you know what? His players weren't talking. So the
No.
players aren't even thinking about it, probably not even thinking about it like that. It's a big opportunity for them to play on this platform because they're going to be on, not even pardoning the pun, they're playing at 6 o'clock tonight Central Time, 5 o'clock Mountain Time. They're playing in prime time against Coach Prime and his son Shadur Sanders, who is the hottest quarterback in college football, playing against Travis Hunter, who I'm already going to say is the best player in college football, playing over 100 snaps at cornerback and wide receiver, and he's second on the team in receiving yards and leads the team in interceptions. You
I'm
nah nah.
no. I'm telling you right now. Expect a 50-plus point blowout. Calling it right
And the
now.
thing is, you don't have to go say these things. Now you just put your team under a gun that if they get embarrassed, that's on you, and especially because you didn't prepare them properly. But
Yep.
now no one's even talking about the game. They're talking about what you said.
Yeah. If I was the team, I would be kind of especially if they come out and just completely run us over, like as
Mm-hmm.
bad as I'm expecting they're going to. I would be so pissed at my coach. Like
Exactly.
at that point in time, it's like, do you even listen to him at that point in time? It's like, you know what? He got us killed. You know what? Screw him. We're just gonna audible the rest of the season. What's he gonna do?
Mhm.
You can't pull us all out.
Well, with the transfer portal, you probably could now. But the thing is, with the transfer portal, I don't know how many high caliber players are going to want to
Uh,
go play in Fort Collins, Colorado.
no, no. What I'm saying is like, if the quarterback decides to say screw any play they tell us to do, and he decides
Mm-hmm.
to audible the rest of the season, what are they gonna do? Not run a quarterback?
Pretty much.
It's
Like
like
that's so trifling.
it's gonna be a wake up call for that coach. And honestly, depending on how bad it is, you might not have a job next year.
No, very much not. And this, I believe, is his third year as head coach. Yeah, this is his third year as a head coach. Norvell, he has a career record of 36-36 as he was previously the head coach from 2017 to 2021 at University of Nevada, which he led them to three bowl games. He was 2-1 in those bowl games. 33-26 record at Nevada. He's 3-10 so far at Colorado State. But keep Dion's name out of your mouth. And also a shout out to the social media, the YouTube channel that is run by his son Dion Jr. called Well Off Media, where you get all the insight on what's going on with Coach Prime. I'm telling you, it is now an event when this football team steps on the field. They have they have used the transfer portal to a higher effect than any school in the country, where they have 75 players on scholarship. Do you know how many scholarships a college football team is allotted?
85.
85. 75 of them are transfers.
Everyone wants to play for prime time. The thing is this: if this works out or whatnot, like no joke, you can't. The BCS can't pull bullshit. It's
The
you got
NCAA can't argue.
yeah. It's like if his team's crushing it and people are wanting to play, can you deny them a shot at the championship?
No, you absolutely cannot. Right now they're ranked 18th, but this after this game, provided that they go ahead and handle their business tonight, the next two games are absolutely crucial because Colorado does have noticeable weaknesses on their defensive line. They are very light, and all Prime has said is wait for us to get some size up in there. It's going to be a whole problem because we got all the perimeter players and all the skill and all the speed that you could want on the outside. But let us get some size, and there's going to be a whole problem. And here's the thing: he wears it on his shirt because I mean, Dion literally shows up. He is a walking event as a human being without even trying. And he always says, "I ain't hard to find. If you want to, if you think you got something to offer to this football program, to this university, and to me, I ain't hard to find." He has it on a shirt that you can
He
buy. I
he's
ain't hard to find.
he's literally out here saying, "Listen, I don't care if what you offer is a little bit or a lot. If you got something to offer me, I'll give you a shot." He's really out here like gonna give anybody a chance to prove themselves. You don't get that a lot in a lot of colleges. Like a lot of colleges are like, if you don't meet XYZ criteria, you're not even gonna sit the bench.
Nah, but you've also got to buy completely in to what he's selling for his program, and you got to buy into him. He said, if you don't believe, you can't play for me. Like you
Yeah.
get in where you fit in, but you can't play for me. Now, the next two games are absolutely crucial after this one, provided, like I said, they handle their business tonight and they do what they got to do, and they party up in Boulder, which God bless, it's wild already. But the next two games are at Oregon, who has a
That's gonna be a
Heisman
tough one.
Trophy candidate in Bo Nix at quarterback, and also they hung 80 points in their season opener.
Whew.
Yeah, that's a team. Oregon is an absolutely electric football
I
team.
I've got a
Yeah,
I got a feeling that's gonna be a shootout.
very well could be. It's also extremely tough to go win it at Oregon. Autzen Stadium is a very, very hard place. But then afterwards, they come back home and face Caleb Williams, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, projected number one overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, to probably the Arizona Cardinals. But he also did say, and his dad did say, if they're not satisfied with who gets the number one pick, he'll just go back for a senior year. So damn,
Yeah.
so damn all that. Like I ain't trying to play for the Cardinals, but but Colorado hosts USC. That is a humongous game, and USC has one of the most awesome offenses in all of college football. That's going to be must see TV. What this feels like to me for our generation, because we did not grow up experiencing the rise of the Miami Hurricanes in the 1980s, where they changed everything you thought you knew about college football. And they did it with swagger and unapologetic blackness that it scared and offended a lot of people that were uncomfortable. Dion's kind of doing the same thing at Colorado because this is an unapologetically proud black man wearing it for the whole world to see and not feeling bad about it whatsoever. And why should he?
The thing
This is
is,
the
like, the thing I'm getting from him is like not necessarily he's just like out there like being over boisterous. It's just he's out here showing I'm here to do a job. I'm going to get my job done. One way or
hmm
another, I'm getting my job done.
and I'm gonna do it my way.
And the thing is, it's because he says I'm doing it my way. It's it's crazy because like how many coaches out there have to do it a certain way in order to toe the line? It's like he's not afraid to push over the line.
No, shoot, Prime is the line. And you better
No,
keep up, or you better keep up or get gone.
no.
That's just the way he goes.
It's Prime isn't the line. He sets the line.
Mm-hmm. And it's so against the grain, if you will. See, what would work at Alabama or what would work at Georgia isn't going to work for him. He's going to do what he's going to do, and he's going to use all of the resources that are available to him to its fullest degree. So, yes, the transfer portal available. You're damn right it is. If you want to come play for me, I ain't hard to find. Shoot, you better come holler at me.
Yep.
And it's changing everything. But what Miami made traditional college football uncomfortable in the 80s. When I say traditional college football, Notre Dame. There, and I recommend to you because I know you really like you check out some sports documentaries here and there now. Get if you can find it, ESPN 30 for 30, or you could just type in on YouTube Catholics versus convicts. That is how that rivalry was built, because Miami ran the score upon them. But the thing is, you are not going to deter this man from doing what he does the way he's going to do it. Deion's been unapologetically him. When people say I am him, he's been him for almost 40 years.
Yep.
This man, with the first time he touched a football in the NFL was on a punt return against the Rams, and he fumbled it, picked it up and took it to the house for a touchdown. People said, "Well, I don't like how much he dances all the time. He celebrates too much." And his head coach at the time, Jerry Glanville, said, "I hope he dances every game."
Yep.
Deion he's a walk. And also listen you, and that's another thing. Go listen, if you have not before. Go listen to his pregame speeches. Listen to the way this man talks. He inspires. He lifts people up because he only wants to inspire people around him, and not even that, to inspire and be a mentor to young people. And it starts at a young age because when he officially retired, he started coaching youth football, and he was coaching high school football down in Florida. Some of the kids that play for him now played for him when they were kids.
Yep.
He's got
And
that long relationship developed with him, and I'm not just talking about his sons who
I
who play quarterback
he
and safety for him.
he's got all the makings of a great leader. And the thing is this, I hope he never goes to the NFL.
No, he was asked that yesterday, and he said, absolutely not. I love it here too much." And that goes back to something else he said. He said, "Don't let me get comfortable. Once I put my feet up and I get comfortable, it's over for everybody." And he said, I'm starting to get comfortable here, and if it makes you uncomfortable, and this is something I'm saying, if it makes you uncomfortable, so the hell what? Says a lot more about you than it does everybody else.
I
He has never been yeah, he showboats, but that's, you know what? He
there's a difference between showboating and earned showboating. Like
exactly. And
it's
you can't stop him.
he can it's you can talk the talk, but he walks the walk.
And literally has high step celebrated on people in his playing days. See, he's gone through different phases in life. He was Neon Dion, then he became Prime Time, and now he's Coach Prime, which is honestly, it's a perfect meshing of who he was as a player and who he is as a coach, as the total package of who Deion Sanders is. Yeah, that's why I say it is can't miss TV when he's on doing his thing. He interviews with Skip Bayless every Monday, or I think it's every Saturday or Sunday, no, it's Monday on Undisputed. Because of his their days when Skip covered the Cowboys and when Dion played there, and Michael Irvin's on there, so they were teammates and they're Hall of Famers. And also, there was almost nothing on that field that man could not do. He was always the fastest player on the field. He probably had the best hands on the field. His recovery speed was ridiculous. Dion would let cornerbacks or let wide receivers get behind him on purpose to give false hope, and then he would just trail. Here's the thing: when you watched him play, it never looked like he was running his hardest. That's how fast he is. And I still say is, even though even though he's 2 toes down, he had 2 toes amputated, and he's still faster than all of us, and he's 56 years old.
Yeah, it's a he's trying to make things interesting. Because
Ain't
here's
no
the
try,
thing,
he just does.
it's a if he would have just gone his hardest, How interesting would that be? It's more interesting to be like,
Nah.
oh, I made these great plays while somebody's on my tail.
Just absolutely nonsense. He like growing up, he's one of my absolute favorite players on planet Earth. I mean, like save for maybe like Isaac Bruce, being a Rams
Uh,
fan.
I, I was a Falk fan. Marshall Falk was.
Because I was Isaac first because he was the first star player I noticed whenever the Rams came to St. Louis, and of course, I mean, who don't love the Marshall plan, but with Dion, it's the fact that in terms of an athlete, this guy was and still is to this day the only person to play in an NFL game and a World Series game the same day. Played for the Falcons in Atlanta, got on a plane, got in a Braves uniform, and batted leadoff for the Braves in the 1992 World Series in Toronto. Oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure he batted over 400 in that World Series. Had the Braves won, he would have won World Series MVP. So he's played in the World Series. His baseball statistics are very, very nice. Especially, he was drafted by the Yankees. Greatness drafted by the Yankees. Come on. Like, and he's the kind of dude. Like I saw this one play he had. It was his first time going back to Atlanta because that's the Falcons drafted him, and he's playing for the 49ers, and that's a division rival, so on and so forth. The first game he plays back there in 1994, he takes an interception back like 93 yards, and he's running up the Falcons side of the sideline, and he immediately starts looking backwards at them, and he starts high stepping with 60 more yards to go, and he does not lose stride at all. He doesn't step out of bounds, and he's looking the other way at them. Then he high steps, and then he dances on everybody. You can do that when you're damn near untouchable on the football field
Yep.
or just in general. But he said I never disrespect another man, but I'm gonna put myself up. But I'm not talking down another man who's out there trying to do what he does to provide and be better for his family and for himself. That's crazy. We don't talk people down. We lift folks up. But I'm gonna keep myself up. Best believe
Yep.
that. And that's what he's done. He has elevated college football, the FBS level of college football in a way where everybody's just excited to see what
I
he does next and what this football team and this program does. Keep in
I
mind, you know what the record was last year? 1-11.
for me, it's I just you know my bias when it comes to NCAA football. How much
Oh, you
I
absolutely
absolutely
love it.
despise
You
like
despise the NCAA. We all do.
yeah. And I love the fact that like he's gonna turn it on its head where it's like there's so many other good programs out there that you can't not notice it now. It's the old I guess we'll say that the old blood established powerhouses. You can't just be like, oh, because they're established powerhouses or have been a powerhouse for years, you can't just rely on that for favoritism anymore.
Parody is the spice of life, especially. I've always said I wished. See, here's the thing: it's the FBS, what used to be known as Division 1A. The other divisions below, FCS, Division 2, Division 3, they have postseason tournaments because they don't have bowl games. Their revenue is not that strong. It's legitimately like a 16-team tournament. And shout out to like Missouri State, who did make that last year, and SEMO made it last year. SEMO is a nationally ranked football program. I never thought I'd see that in my life, but
Neither did I.
no, because they used to not spend money on their athletics, and what he's doing is like Colorado is now getting reestablished. It's not like they've never have been good. They won the national title in 1990. They won, I think, two Big 12 championships and I think a couple of Big 8 championships. So they have a history of winning. It's just the last 20 years have been rough for that football program. And I mean, really, I think I'd have to say for the last 20 years, the best program in the state of Colorado has been the Air Force Academy. But what he's doing is beautiful and it's can't miss and it's so exciting and fuck the NCAA sideways. Don't say fuck
Yep.
college football. Fuck the NCAA.
It's
They're
it's just for me. I personally have issues with the NCAA football over NCAA basketball because NCAA basketball, yeah, you have your established teams that they're probably going to make the playoffs, make the tournament, but you also have some wild cards that make it in.
yeah.
When it comes
That,
to NCAA football, you can almost from day one, from before even the first college football game, you could pretty much be like, okay, these 4 teams are most of these, like, say, you can almost pick which teams are going to shot from before even the first snap.
Yeah.
Which teams are going to have a shot at the title?
Because the system, the way everything is designed at the FBS level, essentially it is a haves and haves nots. It's a big boy table and everybody else. And in order for smaller programs, quote unquote, to get that opportunity, they've got to be absolutely extraordinary.
It's the
There are
margin of
exceptions.
it's a margin of error. The margin of error for the big boys, 1 or 2 losses, still make it.
Hmm.
Everybody else has to pretty much blow out their opponents consistently and never lose a game.
Yeah.
We say you have to go perfect season every year and be like play next level every game, as opposed to everybody else. You can be like, oh, they can lose 1 or 2 because they lost to them. It was a
Yeah,
close
and you
game.
don't have that margin for error if historically let's talk about the programs that are not in power conferences, or they used to be at that time and had to fight just to get a seat at the table. Boise State is the ultimate. Now, they are not the mega power they were. They're still a very consistent program. God, I don't think they've had a losing record, and I couldn't even tell you how long. Actually, I could. Let's see. Historically, Boise State, and they're 0-2 right now. That's a little concerning. They have not had a losing record since, dear Lord, since 1997. They're currently on a 24-year streak of winning seasons, and they're absolutely loaded year in year out. I mean, like I said, they're 0-2 this year, which is odd. But you take a look at the years like this. 2002, they were 12-1, ranked as high as 15. 2003, 13-1, 16th, because they would get punished for their conference. They played in what was the WAC, so you only maybe get, quote, 2 strong opponents in your conference every year, which at that time was Fresno State and Hawaii, but they get dragged down by having to play the San Jose States and the Idahos, who are not even there. They drop down a level. But my point is, now you take a look at 2006. They finally broke through. That was when they beat Oklahoma with all the Statue of Liberty and all the trick plays. They got as high as number 5. Their highest ranking in school history was 2010. They were number 2, and their only loss that year was to Colin Kaepernick in Nevada in overtime. And that game, Nevada, I think, was ranked 18th. So they were a heck of a football team as well. But they were ranked number 2. So to your point, schools in situations like that have to run the table, no questions asked, and they got to do it with style. Otherwise, they don't get a shot. Utah got to a BC, what we used to know as the BCS, before Boise did, because they were blowing teams out in the Mountain West Conference, and they finished undefeated in 2004. That was with Alex Smith as their quarterback, and they got put in. They made it to the Big Four as a non-automatic or power conference school, but they got placed against the lowest ranked conference champion of all the power conferences, which at the time was the Big East. So they're like, yeah, we'll let you in, but you don't get to play the big boys. You get to play the mid big boy in Pittsburgh, and they blew them out in the Fiesta Bowl. So yada yada. They were given a seat, but not that big opportunity they were hoping. Fast forward 5 years later, or no, it's 2008, and they get to the Sugar Bowl, which is one of the Big Four, and they're playing Nick Saban in Alabama. And this was the first year of Alabama being back, and they didn't take Utah too seriously, and they lost. Now Utah is a power conference program because they've been incredibly consistent, but schools like this, like the Boise States, like the Hawaii, the one year they went undefeated, and then they got blown out by Georgia. Northern Illinois out of the MAC got to the table. They had no business at the table, and it showed. But to me, it's always a case of you need Cinderella in college football. You get way more of that in March Madness. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
if you
Well,
looked at the teams that made the Final Four last year,
no, but
Florida Atlantic made the Final Four.
most most people, a lot of what was selected for it, like I think almost everybody, like by the semifinal or even by the Elite Eight, like
Yeah,
brackets were gone.
I mean, like, I see if I can pull up the tournament. Yeah, and I honestly, I think I want to do a bracket with you this year just to see who's gets blown up first.
I did bracket last year, and my bracket got blown up pretty badly.
It was yeah. Let's see. I don't want buzzer beaters. I'm just looking for NCAA tournaments. Yeah, because UConn won last year. Um, let's take a look. See, 2023 NCAA. I don't, respectfully, the women's tournament was more exciting than the men's last year. I ain't even gonna
Well,
hold you
the
with
the big
that.
talking point about the men's tournament last year was North Carolina didn't even make the tournament.
I know that made me so happy.
Like it's a if it was if this was football, North Carolina would have had a seat at one of the big four.
And they'd have more of an opportunity because of now
And
here now.
that's why I had a discrepancy of
So
it's
you say the same thing about Duke and Kansas and
but
Kentucky.
again those teams though they're historically good, yes, but they still have to run the tournament.
Yeah,
It's
you
not
still gotta
like
go out and play.
it's not like with the NCAA. It's like, oh, you're Alabama. I'm sorry, I'm gonna pick Alabama because they're in the last 10 years the worst of it. Oh, you're Alabama. You lost 2 games. You still play for the championship because
It
you
depends
lost.
on who you lose to and how you lose.
Yeah, I'm
That
sorry.
factors a lot.
I'm sorry if there are teams out there that are undefeated and you lose a fucking game. Guess what? Your eligibility for the final for that the championship game should be 0.
I tend to agree there. And I will always have an axe to grind about that kind of thing because of certain years where certain teams got screwed, and they got punished because of quote who they played. Like that's their fault. You can only control what you can control. Now, listen to these. Now, looking back here, listen to the names of these programs that made the men's Final Four, with the exception of Connecticut, which is a blue blood program, more so in women's hoops, but
Yeah.
men's great history there as well. Florida Atlantic. You know how many
No.
people who probably filled out brackets don't even know where Florida Atlantic University is?
99.
Yeah, probably. It's in Boca Raton. But you got San Diego State. San Diego State is a good program historically, but they don't usually get this far. Miami, Florida, the Hurricanes. When you think University of Miami, you don't think basketball.
You think football?
Facts, just off of their history. But they made it, and then the national championship game was San Diego State and UConn, a 5 seed and a 4. But that's the beauty of it. For FAU was a 9 seed. I'll pull up their season. They were 35-4, and they finished ranked 25th. That was their final rank. 35-4 and 18-2 and their conference USA, and these are the teams they beat. They beat Memphis by 1. Second round they beat Fairleigh Dickinson. Fairleigh Dickinson became the second 16 seed to advance. Beat them by 8. Then they beat Tennessee, who was a 4. Then they beat Kansas State, who was a 3. And then
Don't remind me.
about what?
I had K-State going deep.
Did you? They were 26-10 last year. 11 and
But
7. They
they
finished ranked 15th.
they shot really well from the arc though. Like they had some good shooters.
Let's see, 72nd in scoring, 13th toughest schedule in the country out of 363 teams. Yeah, dang, their leading scorer is a 5'7" guard, averaged 17 points, 8 assists, and then they had another one, 17.6 rebounds. So yeah, let me see, 3-point shooting, 3-point percentage, 34%. Actually, they were ranked 172nd in the nation in 3-point shooting, but they were 31st in 3-point percentage allowed. So they were about an average team when it comes to 3-point shooting. But my point is, that's the beauty of March, is that you get these Cinderella stories. I know Oral Roberts had a run a couple of years ago, and you have these schools that can just come out of nowhere and they can just get hot at the right time. Florida Gulf Coast State, Gulf Coast, I think it was like 2014. They snapped off and they were just throwing alley oops all over everybody, and they beat Georgetown. Georgetown historically is a blue blood. And
I think there was a year like Gonzaga was a low ranked, and they went super deep into the conference. If I
uh,
remember correctly.
Gonzaga kind of gets on my nerves because they historically always choke.
But
You like
but they're kind of like that weird Cinderella story of they're never usually ranked, or they used to not really ranked that high, but like they would surprise so many people in the early rounds, and then they'd fall off.
you want me to put you on something here? Since 2001, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since 2001, Gonzaga has only has finished ranked every year but 6 times. So, and let's see, their last rank, see, since 2016-17, their final rankings have been the following: 2, 8, 4, 2, 1, 1, 9. Here's the problem: no national titles. They get on everybody's nerves because you can all. Here's the problem with Gonzaga: they are a fantastic program hidden in Spokane, Washington, but when they are the kind of school, they get more basketball players than athletes. But whenever they get matched up against a team that has athletes who can ball, that's the problem. They played in the 2021. They got the doors blown off of them in the national title game by Baylor because Baylor had athletes who could ball. You're not getting high caliber athletes to go to Spokane, Washington. With all due respect, with all the
No,
respect, because I love the
no,
Zags.
it's the ball players, the athletes that can ball are going to places like North Carolina,
Thank you,
Duke,
thank you.
Kentucky, Kansas. They go into
Places where they're
those.
going to get that national exposure. Well, because here's the thing, Gonzaga outside of historically in their conference, at least, and since I started watching college basketball and paying attention, outside of St. Mary's and maybe Pepperdine and their conference sucks. It's never good. You have those 1 to 2 games that you might be able to, say, oh, that one might be tough. Other than that, no. And now the only other team that they have in their conference that you would think might give them a run is BYU, but BYU wasn't good last year. Also, Santa Clara, shout out to them as well. I mean, St. Mary's last year in their conference went 14-2 and actually won the regular season West Coast Conference title, but historically that conference is weak. Gonzaga, you would have thought would have won at least one, maybe two national championships. Hold on, and here's another thing that burns my ass about them. One, two, three, four, five. 5 times they've been a number one seed, no titles. It's maddening, but like I said, this is a school that also has not had a losing record since 1990.
Hmm.
Consistently win. It's like Mizzou. Missouri in basketball, men's basketball, they're one of the winningest programs to never make the Final Four. I believe they're top 10 in most wins to never make the Final Four. Let's see, most wins to never make the Final Four. Yeah, because I'm kind of on one now. Yeah, we list the top teams to never make the Final Four by win total. Let's see. Yeah, 2, 3. Yeah, Missouri is third winningest program to never make the Final Four behind Xavier and BYU. Pitiful. See, there's also Tennessee, Utah State, Alabama, Creighton, which is in Nebraska, Boston College, Miami of Ohio, Murray State. Little
I
old Murray State.
I'm sorry. It tickles me every time Mizzou comes out with this big, oh, we're contenders, and then they fall flat.
You know what? I don't have that kind of time. I'm just gonna want to fight you if you start that shit because it already gets me going about how Mizzou is literally college sports version of Charlie Brown trying to kick the ball, and anything bad that happens is Lucy with yanking the ball at the last second.
Yeah, it's for
I'm
me.
I'm, I'm not going there.
For me,
So
the closest I can establish that is it's like the North American teams in League of Legends when you got the big regions of EU, China, and Korea. Like, yeah, we let you come along and play, but when it comes to the big showtime, you're gonna choke. You're gonna get embarrassed.
that's so fucked up, but kind of accurate. I'm not even gonna hold you. And since you brought up gaming, I think we had a massive drop the other day from
Ooh,
Nintendo. I wasn't
Nintendo coming
expecting
out
anything.
fire.
Nintendo woke up and chose violence. You'd have thought Reggie was still running the show. I miss Reggie.
Oh
Uh,
my
but yeah,
god!
check.
Like,
So, folks, we're gonna next thing we're gonna go ahead and run down everything from Nintendo Direct's September announcements. This was massive. So first off, an HD remaster of Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. How you
that's
feel about
that's
that?
that's been a request for a long time. Like people have been wanting Paper Mario remastered for a while. Same thing with Mario RPG. They want that brought back. A lot of those old titles. The thing with Nintendo is this: they're very bad about not updating titles. Like we rag on other AAA companies or whatnot doing nothing but remastered and ports of old titles over and over and over. But it's
Yeah.
if Nintendo would just be a little more consistent about occasionally dropping older titles into the newer systems or remastering just a little bit. Like Nintendo titles are beloved pretty much across the board. There's rarely a one that like something like kind of like a little disappointing, but there's not like, oh my god, this is a stinker.
Yeah. They never go out there and lay flat out eggs, but like to just they brought the heat immediately.
Yeah,
And
like
we got plenty of games to do
I
breakdowns on.
I'm super excited to hear that they're doing two League games, like Song
That
of
was out of
Nunu
nowhere.
and Banal Tale. Oh my god! Like I knew that Riot was in the process of releasing more games or whatnot. Like they're supposed to be doing an RPG game at some point in time, as well as a tournament fighter style.
Yeah.
And like these two were like out of left field. I was like, hello.
See everything because like I was talking to you while on YouTube and I just happened to see Nintendo Direct announcements like, oh really? And I kept refreshing and everything that we're gonna talk about here just blew my mind. Like for instance, Mario versus Donkey Kong remake. Holy shit, that'll be
Yep.
out February the 16th. Oh, I
The the
mean,
the
who
big
had that
one,
coming?
Tomb Raider 1 through 3
I
remastered.
was not expecting that at all. And honest to God, it looks great. What I appreciate is that you have the option, similar to the Master Chief Collection, of switching the graphic filters to the remake, or remaster, or the original, and being able
That's
to take it with you, which is super cool. I
uh
got another one here that is to me just reeks of rage quitting, and I can't wait to see people shit themselves and throw their switches because they're dumb. F-099. What the hell does that mean, folks? Now, what F-Zero, it literally it's the classic F-Zero game that you remember, but with up to 99 other drivers on screen with you. And it's a free for all. If you blow up, you're done. Period. But it's all the same tracks with some new bells and whistles. Here's what it says. In a surprise twist, F-Zero made an appearance at the Nintendo Direct today. F-Zero 99 was announced. It is a battle royale style racing game that also supports the SNES wireless controller. So, for the classics out there, F-Zero 99 is out today, but it is exclusively available to those who hold an active Nintendo Switch Online subscription. So if you remember tracks like Mute City and Big Blue and everything, put 98 other drivers on the screen. Have fun with that. Oh,
uh
dude, that's awesome.
Contra Operation Galaga.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, while I whew, oh no. I'm looking for that right here, going through here because there's a lot of announcements. But yeah, a brand new Contra that basically is a full remake of the original game. Take all my money. I
Yeah,
don't own a Switch, but I just might
with
have to now.
it's got co-op with 2 players in story mode, and then the arcade mode with 4 players.
I mean, which is just absolutely incredible. Yeah, I gotta find the new. Gotta find the Operation Galuga announced for. No way, dude! It's on PS5 and Xbox Series.
I mean, if
Yeah,
it's cross if it's
dibs.
cross platform, it's definitely something I can see getting to play with the boys.
I'm gonna see. I gotta see if it is a cross platformer. Let's see. Yeah, new entry. Na, 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 na. Yeah, we know this. Know the story. It's literally the same game. Key features: attack aggressively, 8 explosive stages, multiple playable characters with distinct abilities, new weapons. Now with stackable upgrade and overload abilities. Dude, imagine overloading the spreader.
Oh God,
multiple
it's gonna be a wild ride.
multiple difficulty options. I don't know how comfortable that makes me. The original Contra. Oh, I mean, when you're a kid, that game was absolute hell. We don't have any word whether this game will be cross-platform, but I just can't imagine it wouldn't be.
Here's
Oh,
the
it
thing,
looks so pretty.
I could see Microsoft and Nintendo being cross-platform with it. I don't see Sony doing it though, because Sony
But
is stingy like that.
you know what? And come on, like you gotta lighten the hell up. Is it available already? Hold on. Okay, let me go to the official Konami website and see if we get some more news on that because this game just looks so freaking fun. Let's see, a 4-player co-op, uh, the spread shot, and homing missiles with stackable upgrades. So yeah, there it is. Unleash weapon-specific powers, including a barrier, a missile barrage, a flame shield, and others. Hell yeah. Um,
It's gonna tickle that nostalgic bone for all us in the '90s
hell
and
yeah, it
'80s.
will. Hell yeah, it will. I can't wait for that one. There's so much to go on now. There is one specific game that you are extremely excited about.
It tickles me. I mean, I definitely want to give it a chance and look into it. It's Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Go off.
Like,
It looks
uh,
great.
I've not looked at it yet. I just know I've read
But
into it
finish.
a little bit. But it's going back to that classic. Like, not we're not talking Sands of Time Prince of Persia. We're talking OG Prince of Persia 1 and 2 style platforming. Hopefully, controls are better.
It was not as hard.
God, like, and the thing with the original Prince of Persia was you died, you started over. There's no save point. You started over.
Yeah,
So
I believe that wasn't that. That's basically like a pick up and die game.
pretty much it was. I would say cool idea, piss poor execution on that. But like I'm hoping the controls are good and fluid. I'm hoping the story's good. I'm hoping as a whole like it's gonna be a fun time. It drops the 18th of January. I said it's a. I'm willing to give it a chance once I have a little extra spending money. So cause I'm a big fan of Prince Persia.
Yeah, I know.
I have all the ones with the that all the games that involve the prince from the Sands of Time. I have all 4 of those games. I have hard copies of them. I really want to freaking get myself my hands on an OG Xbox because I'd love to play the Sands of Time again. Because God, like it was so good, so much fun.
You know what? You don't have an original Xbox. I thought you did.
I somewhere at my mom's house we do, but the disc reader stopped working.
Ew, yeah, you'll need to buy a new one.
Or
Well,
find one that's a used one that works. And I've got
mm,
a buddy of mine who owns a game shop down in Perryville, had a couple there or whatnot, and he says that they test it before they buy it. They test it, make sure it works.
of course, I know. I appreciate it. We've been
So
there
so
more times.
yeah. So like it's a if
Uh,
I ever get the extra like $100 or whatnot, I can go down there and buy one. I will, but it's a that's a far in project. Like my life currently revolves around Baldur's Gate 3.
that
And
we know.
no, like I'm still in Act One. I've probably put about 40, 50 hours in already,
hmm
and I'm already playing my next 3 playthroughs.
You been busting ass on that one. So we got some other Nintendo Direct announcements. This one honestly is going to excite my daughter a lot. Before she stopped playing this game, she was heavily into it. Luigi's Mansion, and we have an HD announcement for Luigi's Mansion 2. It's absolutely stunning, folks. If you want to find out more about it, obviously just look up Nintendo Direct. Or you can go to IGN where they have trailers for all the announced games. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD will release next summer for the Switch. We've also got an expansion pass for Splatoon 3.
Oh,
And I don't know how we haven't even discussed this. The Super Mario RPG remake.
yeah, that's one again. Another one that
Unreal.
people have been hounding. They've been wanting. Like I've seen gameplay of it. The old one. It looked really good, but we're missing one that as a Nintendo boys here. how are we not talking about this? Princess Peach Showtime. Peach
You
is
know what?
getting her own game.
Now, I didn't see this until last night, and it caught me off guard. But yeah, I now have it here. Princess Peach Showtime, which has a release date around March. Let's see. It says Direct finally unveiled some gameplay along with a name for this new game focused on the Princess of the Mushroom Kingdom. March 22nd. And according to Nintendo, the gameplay varies depending on which transformation Peach takes. I'll be very intrigued to see what all that's going to entail. But yeah, I think we're long overdue for a Princess Peach standalone game.
I mean, it's when she finally got introduced into being a playable character in the Mario games. I mean, granted, the first time I got to play Princess Peach, and she was probably outside Luigi the best option to play in Super Mario Brothers 2 because
Ew,
of her
yeah.
gliding, and
Hmm.
she's pretty much maintained that ability since. Like, she's needed her own standalone. Like in this day and age, she does not need to be saved anymore.
Oh no,
Mario,
absolutely not.
it's like Mario, you did your job in the early days. Great. The trope of guy saves princess, cool story, been done now. Like giving
Played
her
out
her
to
own
death.
unique story and game, that's awesome. Like I think this is gonna be a big seller. I think it's gonna like as long as the gameplay is good, I think this is gonna be a solid title.
No doubt. And one more major one that we'll go ahead and address before we wrap up shop here. When was the last time you played WarioWare?
Never.
You've never? Oh, dude, so fun, especially on Wii. So we're getting for November. It's called WarioWare Move It. It's so great for kids. It's a
Mm-hmm.
fun game full of mini games. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of would like to see Wario get his own standalone game on the Switch.
I can see it happening at some point in time. I mean, but there's this. I think it's more likely we'll get a new Wario game before we get Waluigi in Smash.
Yeah, pretty much. I unfortunately do have to agree there. Nintendo just dropped a dump truck
Eh,
of game announcements. I believe it was Thursday, and
yeah.
we were not ready for this.
No, it's with all the stuff going on. Like it was the perfect thing to like. Cause like we've had so much stuff again. Like the bit like Baldur's Gate 3 and how great that game's been. The controversy and whatnot issues with Starfield being a Xbox exclusive and the uproar in the Sony community about that, all that jazz, whatever. Like Nintendo just came out and said, "Hey guys, you forgot about us. Here's my cock."
Actually, before we wrap things up, we've totally forgot to address these. I know you because you're a big fan of League of Legends, and I used to play a little bit. We have Bandle Tale and Song of Nunu,
I
which
I,
are.
already I talked about that. I said,
Did you want to get a little more in depth with that?
Not really, because I don't really know much about what it's gonna be. They seem to be kind of like the tail. I'm gonna assume like somewhat maybe like the Telltale series, a little bit. At least the thing with Nunu. Um, I definitely see the Bandle City one. It's gonna be a little more kid friendly and a little more approachable that way. It's supposed to be like an RPG style game. The Yordles are more the cutesy little characters, although Timo is a toxic fuck.
Well, damn.
Here's the thing: league players out there will know Timo is a kid champion. His kid's garbage, but everybody out there who's played League has dealt with had to be like, "There's a Timo. Fuck his shrooms." It's so annoying because it's little hidden shrooms all over the map. You bump into them and they pop, and oh, I'm losing health rapidly from this bullshit. So like as a whole, I think they're gonna be. I think they could either be really good titles or they're gonna flop. One of the two.
We don't have an official release date for those games yet, but they will be sometime in 2024.
Legends of Nunu story launches on Nintendo Switch on November 1st, so this year.
Ah, well, uh,
So
well, Bandle Tale has a to be announced release date of 2024.
yeah, sometime next year.
Ah,
I think Song of Nunu is probably going to be very similar to probably the Telltale series, is my guess.
mm-hmm.
Because again, it's a Song of Nunu, a League of Legends story. Like so, like I'm kind of like it might be like the Telltale series, my guess. But I think these are definitely going to be a lot more kid friendly games or whatnot than like I would assume like some of the other stuff because like here's the thing: when you dig deep into League of Legends lore, it has got some dark stuff.
Mm.
Like I am talking nightmare fuel. If you like read like if you go through the champions and read some of the stuff and whatnot, like it is terrifying. They just released their fully released a new champion not too long ago, Briar, and that champion is nuts. But no, I'm excited. Like Nintendo crushed it with this release, Nintendo Direct. Like, still waiting on that new Donkey Kong game. We're still waiting, hoping.
It almost feels like doing Mario versus Donkey Kong is a big old tease. Like,
Oh
hey, hey,
yeah,
hey, they're dangling it above your head.
yeah. The thing is, like, the last time we got a solo Donkey Kong game was Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and say it's been too damn long.
Oh, way too damn long. Like they need to. Like Nintendo, people want it. Give the people what they want. Give us a Donkey Kong game.
Well, hopefully we get that in some time. Nintendo, hopefully you're listening out there. But they did great by the fan direct announcements. But we're going to have time to go off on this. About lunchtime, and it's about football time for this one. Got Mizzou
Uh,
K State checkout at 11 o'clock. I'm sure you got adulting to do. Today's my no
uh,
adulting day.
no, I've got some stuff to do. My wife she's heading to KC with her family to go watch her sister play uh volleyball. My youngest sister-in-law, she's playing college basketball or college basketball. Oh my god, college volleyball at Central Methodist, I believe.
Oh, rock on! Awesome. Well, good luck to them.
So yeah, they're going up there to play. So my wife's gonna go and watch them. So after she leaves, I am a free man. So
You don't get too many days like that.
I'm gonna be drinking. I'm gonna be playing some Baldur's Gate, and then tonight I'm running my vampire game, which is the story is about to take a twisting turn. I don't know how my players are going to react and how they're going to respond, but it's going to divulge into one of three things. Option A, they go one way. Story changes this way. Option B, they go this way. It devolves in that story. Option C, the party splits.
Oh man, well, that'll keep you on your toes
Oh
for
god,
tonight. Now,
yeah, I'm excited because like what's going to be nice though is we're on a 2-week break because some of my players have stuff they need to take care of. So however the party goes tonight and how the story devolves or whatever.
divulges.
Yes, that word. It's still too early. I've yeah.
It's almost
I'll give
11.
some time. It's gonna be some time to think about how I want to approach it. Whether I need to split like go two different stories on alternating weeks or what, because Lord knows it's going to be interesting.
Well, looking forward to hearing how everything goes for you. For me, hanging out with the daughter today, of course. And we had
Yep.
movie night last night. We watched Monster High, and now we got to wait for the sequel to release on Paramount
Yep.
Plus. And we're gonna do game night,
Yeah.
which last night I put her on and played Sonic 3 because she wanted to see the old Sonic. So hell yeah to that all the time.
Yep. And then
And
tomorrow we're both going to be glued to the TV/phones.
pretty much, yeah. I mean, and Rams, we have a big one. We play the 49ers for the first time this year, and they're a hell of a team. That's gonna be a fun matchup. And just plenty of great football to check out on week 2 of the NFL season as
And
we get ready to
I say like
as we yeah.
we'll try to keep y'all posted on how we're doing in our league. Right now, I said I'm 1-0. Kyle is 0-1.
Hmm.
He's projected to win this week. I'm not, but that's been my story for this whole fantasy football league. I'm playing the underdog.
That's why they play the game. It ain't one on paper, and it ain't one on a computer screen either. But
Nope.
hopeful, and folks, we've been missing out on a certain propane salesman from Perry County. So we're hoping to, with his schedule to lighten up, that we can get his ass back on this damn show, and
And expect a roast session.
naturally, also, and I do want to take this time before we go to apologize to our regular listeners on Spotify and all of our streaming platforms. We have not been able to get episodes up as of late, and that is something that we're trying to get rectified as soon as possible,
Yeah,
as we have a lot of backlogged content.
as soon as the propane lawn porn man gets his shit lined out, we will have an episode dump.
And on that note, I love you too. So come on in here real quick. Come here.
Hey, Daddy.
Oh, 1 second. Come on, Michelle. Say goodbye to everybody. But folks, we're gonna wrap things up. Hey, we're not ready yet, but we're gonna wrap things up, Goober. And I got a weekend to go hit. Byron does as well. It's always been fun. We will see you next time on Triple B's. As always, be kind, always rewind. Follow us on Twitter, now X. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to the channel. We'll have the links below when this video goes up, and everything else in between. But until then, we will see you on the flip side. Deuces.
Peace.
Yes. Hey, we're still recording.
It won't stop.
I'll do it. That's